we teach, we understand, we live, we've confirmed that our energetic flow is created and made up of the energies we choose for ourselves as our truth. If we choose to see ourselves as lack or separate or fear or whatever these spaces are, that I've lived all of those, we then broadcast, emanate, vibrate out those frequencies because we're thinking about them, we're talking about them, we're focusing on them, we're looking for them. I looked for them. I literally looked for them in my everyday world. I was ready for them. I was ready for the next thing that was going to scare me. I was ready for the next thing that was going to make me broke or whatever. And so we broadcast out these vibrations, these signatures, and the field, the system of creation itself, the quantum field, energy flowing all around us at all times, the nothingness of everything is waiting, listening, reading, registering all of its connection points. And we are that. And it will abide accordingly. So whatever we register at with the field says, absolutely, here you go. No problem. I got you. Experience. Okay, here you go. Relationship. All right. Oh, yeah. And we look around and there's our creation. Take two.
Take two. Here we go. I feel better about this. I changed my internet, so we should be good.
Okay. Because it was stalling a teeny bit. It was stalling. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I heard one of every 12th word of yours. So I was like,
Oh,
I really can't put that sentence together. So let's, yeah,
yes. Oh my
okay. Okay.
goodness. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I thought maybe it was just going to take a minute because sometimes it takes a minute for people to get like fully clicked in or whatever. But yeah, that was good that you caught it.
That
All right.
sounds like my Acasma experience. Took me a minute to get fully clicked in.
We
That's
will
actually
take all
perfect.
of the messages in all the ways in
Right?
which they show up, right?
Yes, 100%.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I love that. Well,
So
thank you, beautiful Jamelin, for being
thank you.
here. Thank you for
Thank you.
being here in this space with us, with me. Um, I know so many people in the Acasma community, the Acasma family, they already know you and they love you and they're grateful for all of the powerful and incredibly encouraging and uplifting insights you share in our beautiful Acasma community chat spaces. And so I know they're going to find this video to be extremely beneficial and a blessing, I'm sure, on all levels. And I'm grateful because you and I don't always have as many of these moments of just you and I. So this is a really special space. Thanks for finding the time and making the space for this to happen. Love your new assistant, Carol. She is fantastic. Oh my goodness. I love
Yeah.
working with her.
I
She's so just vibrant and full of laughter.
She is. She's joyful and she teaches me peace and balance.
She's fantastic. I think you should
Yes,
keep her. You should keep her. She's a keeper. She's a
she's
keeper
a keeper.
indeed.
Yes.
So, all right. So we're having some fun, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Anyone finding this right now on YouTube, you designed this alignment. You,
Mm.
whatever message is coming in today through these two quirky girls here, we're happy to bring it. We're happy to lay it at your feet, and you get to decide what you do with it. And that's where the power lies. That's where the power lies. So I am so excited to see where we're going to go with the conversation today. Jamelyn, you've been here for several years now in the Acasma community,
Yes.
and you could probably articulate this at an even greater level than I would do so, because you are fantastic with the relayance of the information you've gleaned from this space. I always benefit greatly from reading your posts, your shares, your emails. I tell you all the time, please write a book, please write a book, please write a book. So I think the good shirt might be coming.
Yes. Yes, the good shirt. Very much so. The good shirt is coming with, I think it'll just be this lovely compilation of all of my Acasma aha moments and all these spaces and places where things expanded. And I was able to put on my Acasma lenses and experience the moment differently because of it. And so,
I
yeah,
love
I have a
that.
lot of those to share.
I love that when you said things expanded and you put on your Acasma connection point. My wording there on the ending. But think about this for a second. I just caught it when you said it. So, and please dive in and share your take. But Acasma is designed to assist us in expanding ourselves, our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And if we do that, if we step into that space of availability for ourselves, experiences can happen and do happen that give us the opportunity to send that message to the field that says, I'm a different vibration than I was.
Yes.
So I love the word expanded, and I love taking it to two spaces. One, we personally expand. We personally, allow ourselves to step into a new way of being us. Yes. And by doing that, we create experiences, we design and align, we do it, that show up, that say, here's the perfect mechanism to send your message to the field to tell it you're no longer who you were. Yes. And in doing that, we're giving that old space. This is the point I was trying to get to. We're giving that old space of us that shows up, that old experience, that old response, alignment. We're giving it space to expand as well. It's no longer gripping us. We're no longer gripping it. Nothing's being held at the space or at an energy or at a vibration or at a frequency that it was before. Everything's moving. Everything's being expanded, including our grip. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. I just had a moment in exchange with my mom the other day where I felt like this came to life exactly as you said it. So prior to Acasma, if someone were to say, how would you describe Jamelin? I don't think when they came up with the top 5 or 10 adjectives to just describe me and who I am, I don't think the word patience would have hit the top of the list. There would have been other, lovely qualities, but not patience. And I recently had an exchange with my mom the other day, and as she is recovering from a very severe accident and finding her way back to what is now a new normal, I was sitting there and she said to me, thank you for being so patient.
Wow.
My brain doesn't work the way it used to and the way I want it to. So thank you for not getting upset with me.
That's huge.
It is huge. And at that moment, I haven't been described as a patient person before. And I know that I know that I know that's because of the peace and balance that I anchor through Acasma quantum energy. And so not only did I sort of align and was given the moment to have a little bit of a reflection, right? Like, kind of, here is where you're at. And for her to say that it also created a space for her to be gentle with herself, for her to be patient with herself
I love that.
versus, have these expectations that if she didn't have the answer she was looking for right then to get upset with herself, etc.
Mm.
So the ripple effect is phenomenal, and it reaches much farther than I have the knowings of. I'm very confident in that. But when I get those moments, they're I mean they're it's like high five to myself, to the
Yeah.
universe, right? That yes, I'm implementing, I'm working it, and not just in a moment where everything was like at stake, or it was a life or death moment, or it was a huge moment. This was a very everyday moment.
Mm.
But the exchange was so tender and so deep. And I am overjoyed at the fact that I'm a patient person.
Mm. That's
And that's a
beautiful.
gift, right? A gift I
It's
give to
huge.
others
It's
as
huge.
much as myself. And that is peace and balance
Mm.
all the way, baby.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
That space was given space. You gave your relationship with your mom, the way you register your mother, the way you interpret your mother. And at the same time, she was giving that interpretation of herself space. There was space available. There was peace available. For me, they're interchangeable. When we grip things or we get caught up in them or underneath them, whatever wording fits, I feel like that's squeezes space out and squeezes peace out. It makes everything tight, and that's why everything feels more intense.
Yes.
But when you give it space, when you allow yourself that opportunity to be available to yourself and to others, to your world around you, with more space, it brings in the peace, and that brings in the balance. And this is like just speaking of the vibrations themselves, okay? But we work with an actual energetic modality that assists with the shifts of these vibrations. So if people are in a life in which there's not a lot of patience, there's not a lot of peace, and there's not a lot of balance, Acasma quantum energy, what we're talking about, the teachings, working with, like you said, I'm implementing. That's how it activates. That's how it turns on. That is assisting these experiential spaces of us, whether they are regular, everyday, mundane, simple moments, or whether they're enormous, in our face, dramatic moments, right? Yes. A cosmic quantum energy and the teachings are a means in which we find, allow, trust, and live in a new vibrational state of existence where peace and balance are more of the norm than something we're trying to obtain or get to or have a fleeting moment with. But it becomes more of the norm of just who we are and where we live. So that's a big moment with your mom. Yes. Now I'm also thinking prior to the space of her where I think you guys have come like around a corner in some ways, right? Because there's a lot that happened prior to this that was probably even, it wasn't a regular everyday moment. It was like big moments, right? Intense moments. But this shows up there too. It's available to everybody, but it will only activate upon focus given to it, just like any other space of our lives. That's a really big one. How does that play out for you? The understanding of where you put your focus, that space is going to open up. That space is going to, it's going to grow. It's going to get bigger. It's going to amplify. That's a big part of the teachings of Acasma.
And it does work that way. And I think there was a little bit of uh, anxiety or something at the beginning. Am I doing it right? Am I implementing it right or often enough? Right? Sort of all of those typical sort of conversations we have. But the more I use it, again, we're back to this sort of expansion and what becomes my new normal. And I can, share a story I had with my son several months ago. And I have a teenage son, and there are moments where things can get tense between parent and teenager. And it was a moment of something that occurred that was not acceptable for me. Like what just transpired is not acceptable. In the past, I would have reacted like the old tapes would have kicked in. I would have gone into some sort of route, not the optimal space of me. But I had a moment where I was able to choose my response, and that response that I chose was one of peace and balance, where I didn't grip as much as I want to and say, like, oh, you're my child and this is how I'm choosing to raise you, all of those things. What ended up happening was we had actually a beautiful sort of conversation and moment. And then 2 months later, out of the blue, he just said to me, Mom, I want to thank you for the way you handled that. A lot of other parents would not have done the same, and it meant a lot to me the way you handled it that you did.
So good.
Yes, like to the evidence that this is becoming my norm, which then means that only moves sort of my goals forward, right? And how I want to show up. So it's like this iterative, I'm getting better and better by layers, moment by moment, connection by connection. Each time I choose to show up differently because I have the tools. Now, do I always trust myself that it's going to land the way I want it to? No. But I at least kind of give it a whirl. I take the first step. And sometimes, like I said, those two stories I shared, nailed it, crushed it, wonderful. I have other times, not exactly such a smooth landing, right? I
Yes.
maybe sometimes crash and burn landing, but whatever. Like I learned from it all. It's
Yes.
all feedback. It's always feedback,
Yes.
always.
I love
So,
that.
yeah, it's huge.
I
It's
love
huge.
that it's in all directions too, in a sense, because your mom, a lot of people would see that ancestrally as like a lineage line prior to you, that brought
Mhm.
forth you, and your son, a future, a space of the continuation, if you will. And so, pretty cool that it's even reflecting back to you in a very quantum type way of all
Yeah.
directional points of yourself. So I love that as well. So for someone listening though, and they're like maybe newer to this space, could we share anything that maybe stuck out to you that you have more of as a go-to tip tool wise, like when you're in these spaces of just life, yes, that assists you in maintaining, I like to call it mastery, because it either masters us or we master it in a sense, and we can have our days that are easier than others. But for the most part, I loved when you said as well, you're getting better and better at it. The more you implement it, it's like that practice makes perfect thing in a sense. And we're not saying anybody has to be perfect, but mastery is available at a different level incrementally every step of our path. Yes. We're not ever done, but it's a continual availability to show up in the most optimal alignment of ourselves. So, what helps you? Because there's a lot of teachings in the Acasma repertoire of go to tips and tools. Are there any that stick out that you really pull into your world?
No, and I say that because it is very rich.
Mm.
And it's like there's something pertinent or available for what I need in that moment for me. So it's not just one or two things. I can say probably one of the most helpful things is our community. So
Okay.
our
Yeah.
Cosma Family of Light
Yeah.
community and the Discord chat spaces that we have are so powerful because that is where all of the implementation takes place.
I love
And
it. It
so
is. Yeah.
that's where I can connect the dots on what we talked about. For example, in an AQE Foundations class, maybe we're on week 7 and we talked about something, but then I actually see it come to life. So kind of like theory versus, implementation, like book smart, street smart, like it all comes together. And it is through just even reading the posts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have to post to get what I get out of it. And that's actually kind of beautiful. It's very reciprocal. But when I read how someone else relays their experience of implementing something, some principle or idea or way of thinking through a cosmic quantum energy, I mean, my light bulbs are going off. I'm like, yes, oh, I get it. And I have a similar situation. And I start connecting the dots for me. And then it's like, got it. I can now run with this. So I think it's having all of these many beautiful conversations throughout the days, weeks, months that constantly like get me back to center.
I love that. I love that. We built that community years and years ago.
Mhm.
Um, and I look at it now and I marvel. I'm like awe, yes, by the outreach international and 24/7, like it's available. And I love that you made note of its worth in the way you did, because I felt several times throughout the years of its growth, even in the beginning when it was smaller and quieter, in the sense that because our outreach is not really like, we're not on the news or anything, or like on major advertised, my social sites and other people's that are in the community, is how you find it, really, right? But over the years, I kept thinking and feeling and witnessing it truly was a safe space for people to learn to trust themselves again and to learn to listen to themselves again. There's a lot of outside noise, right? And funny enough, I'm going to do the AI and humanity panel in Conscious Life Expo, right? And I started thinking about even how much AI factors into, I think, in many ways, how we don't listen to ourselves at the same level anymore, because we're now even asking something outside of us in another format. What do you think about this? What do you know about this? What would you do in this space? How would you write this out, or whatever? And it can seem innocent, but at the same time, we're yet again letting go of another space of trust in our own knowing. And so I felt like I was witnessing this community as a sounding board, a safe zone, to step into remembering how to trust yourself and remembering how to learn how to discern and how to listen to your discernment. That's divinity. That cannot be replicated. It cannot be replicated by anything outside of divine, organic, sacred consciousness. You can mimic in some ways and try to, but the energy that's inside of it, yes, it's irreplaceable. Yes. And I feel like the Acasma community is like a beacon of that. It's an echo chamber of that divinity coming in through all of these beautiful beings, these humans that are finding their way to it and are saying, you know what, I'm available to trust myself again, because it's innate. It's who we are. But we lost that trust and we started putting it in things outside of us more. And now it's time to find our way back home to it. So I really love your words on how the community has impacted you. And it's a very specific community. And I do my best to shepherd it, nurture it, protect it, guide it, guard it, all the words that we could apply, because it's for a cosmic quantum energy and a cosmic consciousness and the teachings thereof. And it believes completely in and supports 100% unified field, but it also acknowledges itself in its own space of remembrance as a collective. And I think that's another thing we're picking up on with the community, is we're learning how to be a collective of consciousness. Yes. And any space of consciousness that is going through a spiritual awakening individually is going to also experience that awakening as a unified collective as well. And it has sub collectives in it, in its like general collective. So I feel like we're a very powerful sub collective, if you will, for the human collective. But at the same time, we are all, I believe we are also um, remembering ourselves in a space of our quantum beings in which we are a cosmic consciousness. We are the Acasma collective of light. And we're just getting started in remembering what that means and stepping into those abilities and those spaces of connection. So I'm really excited about it. And it's a free community. So if you're hearing us right now and this is pinging you in some way, you designed this alignment in some way, right? Go to the website. There's a link below the video. And on the website, there's a link to join the community. So you can join the community, and we do beautiful grid of light once a month on Zoom. Free. This is free. We're not going to tell you you have to pay for membership. That's on my Patreon. If you want to do that, do that. That's also available. But this particular thing is gifted, and I haven't missed 1 month. We do it the end of the month, Saturday, last Saturday of the month. I've been doing this since 2020 and I have not missed one event. So you're welcome to join us. We say, welcome home, Holy One. Welcome home. So thank you, Jamelin, for bringing the community in. Yeah, I think it's a huge space of assistance in landing these new spaces of ourselves and learning to implement. It's a safe space to implement.
Yes, and it really is that place to implement, because say I make a post on some topic, even just reflecting and looking at what I wrote is a moment for me to land or expand, or make those decisions about what part of this space I want to keep and where I want to move to. So whether it's reading through somebody else's experience, which we all can relate to, or I hold myself accountable to posting here and there, so that it's like my way of, I don't know, trying it on, see if it fits.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly. And even just stepping out and writing anything, and nobody has to. You want to join the community and you want to just read, or some people are like cool with putting an emoji, like liking somebody else's thing. You don't have, you do you. I know for a fact we have more people that just read than we do that share, because I can see the numbers and I can see the how many people are creating content in these chat spaces. So that's cool. Follow your heart, trust your inner knowing. But I can remember when I first said, you know what, I want to implement this space of myself that I know I am, which is a different life in many ways, not all, but many of the ways I live my life. I'm going to be changing if I'm going to really go into this new space of me and trust this, my inner knowing, trust my discernment, trust my spiritual gifts, trust my connection as source. If I'm going to step into this thing, some people in my life are not going to like what I write because they're not ready for me to change. Maybe it scares them for me to change, or maybe they don't like the changes that I would be representing or representative of. And it was scary. I remember being very, in my head and anxious in a sense, because at that point, my step out was Instagram. That was my Acasma community chat in a sense, right? Because that didn't exist yet, right? And so for me, it was Instagram, which, okay, come on, let's be real, people. I think that's even more difficult because it's like the world is looking, like anybody and everybody can see, right? At least in the Acasma chats, it's specific to who we let in. So it's like a little bit of a, buffer there. But I'm claiming that one. I'm claiming this one.
you are so brave. I give you that. I absolutely high five, chest bump that. Woo, that is tough.
It was such a big deal. I think one of the first things that was, I did a story. On Instagram, you can do a post and that's forever. It stays on your page until you delete it, or, it's just there forever, right? That's a post. Then you can do a story, which is only up available for 24 hours. So I said, okay, I'm stepping out. We're going to do a story because then it's gone in 24 hours, and it gave me breathing room. And I think I did something about butterflies and the energy of change. And I talked about energy itself and consciousness, which was so out of what I normally would have posted because I was still posting birthday parties, anniversaries, and regular family events. And now I wanted to turn it into a spiritual platform and try to be available to others who were doing what I was doing, right? So my first step was my stories, and that was big. And nobody really said anything. I picked up a couple followers, people that liked the kind of stuff I was into, which was fun. And then I got brave and I made a post that was forever on my page. And I actually did energy work, which that was huge in my family because most of my family, not immediate, but like mother and siblings and so forth, aunts, uncles, they didn't favor energy healing. They didn't think it was good, whatever.
Yeah.
I was that person at one time, so I totally understand where they're coming from. But I remember how much it took to do that video, and it was 60 seconds. I think it's still on my IG page. I just put my hands like this, and you know me now. I mean, oh my gosh, right? I'm like doing all kinds of stuff. I make all kinds of noises. I yell yes. I do all kinds of funny things. I speak in other languages that are non-human. But in the beginning, it was everything in me to do this and say, if you choose to receive this blessing, it's available. It just sat there, and it was so beautiful on so many levels because it took so much courage. And for me, it was me showing up for me first. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So when you talk about the community chat and how much it brings, I'm like, yes, like one of the main things I think it was built for is to give people an implementation point to trust themselves in again, listen to themselves again, and find themselves in a sense.
Yes. And I don't even think before Acasma had I even thought about trusting myself again.
Mm,
Oh, it wasn't on my radar. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Do I trust myself?
mm.
And I had that sort of same sort of dialogue about wholeness.
Yes,
Like
I remember.
I'm like wholeness. Where am I not whole? I couldn't I couldn't wrap my head around it. Yeah, it's fascinating that everything is like what you receive is what you are ready to
Mm,
receive,
yeah,
right? The pacing
yeah.
of it, the messages of it. So it's always it's Acosma is so rich and deep with availability of opportunity for us to remember, to be who we really are. And I don't think I could have said I had divine essence
Mm,
2 years ago. I don't think I could have said it or really owned it, maybe without even like flinching or something.
yeah.
But that's such a guiding principle for me today
Mm,
to be in, and I'm getting a better sense of wholeness. I think
mm,
it's something that will continue to expand for me. But to be in that wholeness, to be in that divinity, to know I am from source in a way I haven't known before
mm.
is probably one of the bigger overarching just things that guide me and help me make choices and how I show up
I
and
love
those I
that.
interact with.
I
And
love
that's
that.
big.
It's huge. How I show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you're who, your interpretation of who are you,
Mhm.
when your who changes, the how you show up changes because that who is who's showing up. And even an increment of divine essence being allotted or available, allowed, is a whole different field. Yes. And when I say field, anybody who's not understanding what I'm talking about, we teach, we understand, we live, we've confirmed that our energetic flow is created and made up of the energies we choose for ourselves as our truth. If we choose to see ourselves as lack or separate or fear or whatever these spaces are, that I've lived all of those, we then broadcast, emanate, vibrate out those frequencies because we're thinking about them, we're talking about them, we're focusing on them, we're looking for them. I looked for them. I literally looked for them in my everyday world. I was ready for them. I was ready for the next thing that was going to scare me. I was ready for the next thing that was going to make me broke or whatever. And so we broadcast out these vibrations, these signatures, and the field, the system of creation itself, the quantum field, energy flowing all around us at all times, the nothingness of everything is waiting, listening, reading, registering all of its connection points. And we are that. And it will abide accordingly. So whatever we register at with the field says, absolutely, here you go. No problem. I got you. Experience. Okay, here you go. Relationship. All right. Oh, yeah. And we look around and there's our creation. When we're in the Acasma community and we're in the Acasma teachings, we're working with energetic assistance to understand ourselves and all these ways in which we have been, yes, implementing all these energies we've been emanating, thought processes, belief structures, feelings, and we're not negating anything. We do not do that. We do not act like it doesn't happen. We do act in the sense of putting things in motion, but we do it from a sense of a knowing, a deep knowing, a remembrance that gets activated within us incrementally for each individual that resets us and reconnects us into the space of that wholeness. We're ready to land. We're ready to be. We're ready to allow. We're ready to trust. Small, medium, large, doesn't matter. Acasma meets everybody right where they're at. And what was the saying my husband said? Maybe you can help me remember. He was at the booth at Conscious Life Expo. He was the only one there. We were all at an event, and the team was at an event. And somebody said, well, what does Acasma do? Do you remember what he said? What
He
did he
said
say?
Acasma helps you find you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I love that, right?
Yes.
And he's not like he's supportive 100%, but he has his own world and his own job and all that he does. Yet he just gleaned that, right? From being around us, being around the work I do, the work we do. And what a beautiful way to say it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
this is such an incredible space. I'm so grateful for it. I mean, yes, I get up every morning and I'm on the couch by 5:55. It's just funny how it's always 5:55 every morning when I sit down and pick up my phone and I go through my messages and I go through all the social sites to check comments, direct messages, emails, all the stuff. And I reply as fast as I can to whoever I can in certain orders, based on need and so forth. It's never ending in the understanding of what this space is to so many people.
Yes.
It's incredible. I don't want to cry, but it's like, that's because I trusted myself. That's because all of it, the people's lives, their families' lives, like moving, changing, shifting, healing, freedom coming in at different levels for everyone who makes contact with this in some way or another, finds some space of freedom. And to look over it and be like, where we are and the opportunities of where we're going as well. It is complete confirmation, solid, absolute proof of what you focus on does expand. And where you put your trust, that space will give you more and more reason to trust it. Yes. The minute you give trust to yourself, you'll have more and more reasons showing up of why that's valid. You have every reason to trust yourself. You have every ability needed within you already. And that trust activates it. That trust says it's safe to come on.
Mm.
Yes. It's safe to expand. It's safe to have space for peace and balance. I love this. I love this.
And once you get an experience with it, it changes everything. So you can't unknow that experience. You can't unremember that
Yeah.
experience. So it's this constant like movement forward. And
Yes.
I love the fact you literally trusted yourself, like you said, with your energy session, you trusted yourself. So that makes me pose the question to anybody hearing this, and first and foremost to myself, where can I trust myself?
Mm.
Where
Mm-hmm.
can I show up and trust myself in a way that I haven't been brave enough to do yet?
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Yet,
What's
brave
what's
enough
waiting?
to
Like
do
who
yet.
yet?
Yet.
Yet.
I love
Yes.
that. And
Like,
and it's a continual opportunity. It's a
yes.
continual opportunity because even when I did this in the very beginning, like we were joking about, right? It turned into this. Do you know what it took to trust myself to show up that day to weave light?
Yes.
And I mean, in group event spaces, destination event spaces, or Zoom call spaces, I'll tone. I'll make
Hmm.
some noises that, I mean, you either resonate or you don't, but like that takes trust.
Yes.
Every single step is another opportunity. Every single day, every single breath, every single step is another opportunity to show, I get to show me how much I believe in me. You know what? I'm going to bring this in. May not fit perfectly, but I think it matters and it's going to say something to somebody. I had a fun story with my husband the other day. We had a great weekend together. Just celebrated a birthday and I've been pretty much celebrating all week. So we were driving in the car and I was singing a song. We love yacht rock. Anybody who likes yacht rock. Um, I was singing a song and I didn't know all the words. So, but I was still singing like I did. Anybody, do you do that where you just like,
Oh, for years, lyrics are wrong. I had no idea. Someone tries to tell me what they really are. I didn't know.
I'm going at it?
Yeah,
He knows the words and he's just kind of like looking at me like, that's not like, how long have you been singing it that way?
exactly.
But it was so funny because I don't know why. I guess because we were in the car and I don't know. I flashed back really fast to a memory of when I was like, I don't know, I was about 6 years old. And back then, you didn't have to wear seatbelts and car rides were much different. But we had a Buick, a big four-door Buick. I mean, and when I say big, they were big in the 80s. Comfy, like a couch going down the road. So, anyways, I'm in the back seat. I'm remembering this. I'm with my husband. We're driving down the road, but all of a sudden, I'm six again. I'm like real fast flashback. I'm six. Oh, I remember. Okay, so I'm singing the song. I'm singing the song wrong, but I'm having fun doing it, and he's having fun watching me have fun doing it. And I said, you know what? I'm not afraid of anything. And he said, no, you're not. And we're laughing. And I said, I will talk to anybody, won't I? And he goes, yep, you will. And I'm laughing and he's laughing. And then I remembered the 6 year old. And I think this is something that really helped me be me now and trust me now is when I was six and we're driving in that big Buick. My mom and dad were in the front. My dad was driving. My mom was in the passenger front. And I was in the back. and I was bored to no end, and I wanted to talk, and we didn't have iPads, we didn't have TVs, we didn't have none of that, right? And the radio was adult radio. They didn't have like now you can go on Spotify or Sirius and find kids stuff. They didn't have that then, right? So my mom turned around and handed me something and said, "Here, play with this." And she handed me a makeup mirror with a handle. It was a big makeup mirror, like a 5x7 makeup mirror with handle. And she said, "Here, play with this. Talk to yourself. Pretend you're on TV and you're telling people about where you're going." And I took that mirror and I sat on the floor in the back because you didn't have to be in a seat. And I was comfy cozy on the floor with my mirror. And I was like, "Hi, how are you today? We're going to." And I just had the best time describing everything to the mirror. But then I was like, I was thinking about it as an adult now and everything I do now. And that 6-year old with the mirror, and how natural it was to talk to myself and how natural it was to like myself in the mirror and be with myself and hang out with I was my friend. I was my, playmate in a sense, right? And I thought, oh my God, my mother did mirror work with me at 6 years old. I was falling in love with myself with this in a good way, with this simplistic filling the space in a sense with something that I would enjoy doing, that she thought I would enjoy doing. But I really think it helped train me in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense because like I'm doing this right now, right? I'm on Zoom. I ask a lot of people to be on this with me, a decent amount of people from our community. This is something we do, right? And some people will reply, "I really want to be on it with you, but I'm not comfortable coming on camera yet." And I say, "Okay, cool." They'll say yet. We love the word yet. And then some people will be like, "Okay." And they'll be a little nervous when they come in. And then they'll be like, "Oh, that wasn't bad at all. I had fun. Thank you so much," And some people are cool right off the bat. I never found this awkward. For me, this was the mirror in the back seat of the Buick. And I was just still talking. I was still talking. But I think that's what began my ability to be this space. Does this make sense in some way?
Oh, yes. I could see when you're 6, you trust yourself, right?
Yes, I
You have
love,
no
yes,
reason
you're
not
right.
to,
Okay, yeah.
right? And you don't get over into your head about how you're showing up. Like that's where you see a little girl twirling around, the store because of the music that's playing or something, right? We
Yeah,
have that. It's
innate.
like
Yeah.
the more adult we get talked out of that trust, or we find ways to lose that
Mhm.
connection and that trust. And it's almost like our job now is to make our way back home.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Okay, that's beautiful. I love the way you said that. So I had established a very good trust level, and a lot of people do. And then when I created the butterfly story on IG the one day and then did the video, that was me um, reconnecting back into the 6-year old who trusted herself.
Yeah.
I
But
love that.
remembering,
Yeah,
yeah.
that it's okay to
And
trust me. It's okay
yes.
to trust me. Yeah. And now that's what we teach. That's what I bring across the planet. It's so cool because people say, "Why do you do what you do? Why do you do this? What's your why? How did you get here?" And I didn't always see the spaces of the child as much for myself. Um, I loved my childhood. I had an incredible childhood, and my parents were amazing, are amazing. My dad's in spirit, my mom's physical still, but I focused more on after the birth of my second child that was more of a space of my shift and my remembrance point because I felt like I saw so many people around me that were in the space I was in, like that were not available to themselves. They were not listening to themselves, just like I wasn't right at that time. And my why was I figured out how to become free.
Mhm.
I remembered who I was and how to bring that back in and to allow it in my now. And what that meant was this massive expansion of that reconnective of wholeness that we touched on a little bit here today. And when that happened, all of the Acasma stuff started going and coming in, like the keys, the signs, the teachings, the understandings, the concept of original blueprint, the concept of God frequency, the concept of the divine template. All of this stuff and more started flooding in. But it's because what we said before, it's all energy, it's all vibrational, it's all incremental. We meet ourselves right where we're at, and what can come in energetically will come in accordingly. And the minute I opened up the vibrational alignment of trust, yes, at that full level, all of that fullness, yes, that was already me, was able to show up because I made a space of resonance in which it could do so. And that's what Acasma quantum energy does. That's my why. I want people to find their freedom, their voice, their authenticity, their passion, their purpose, their bliss. Every single person has the opportunity to have this, no matter what the story, no matter what the family line, no matter where on the planet. Everyone is source. Yes. Yes. In form. Yes. Having a now. Everyone. Mm. And Acasma says, yes, that's true. Now let me meet you right there. And let me walk with you and reactivate. Yes. The spaces you're ready to reactivate when you're ready to reactivate them. I love that, Jamelyn. Thank you for helping me see my child space with that understanding of the girl in the grocery store or the store when you mentioned that dancing to the music. And yeah. And I remember nowadays, it's even more common, which I love. I see a lot of little kids in costume. They like to
Yes.
dress up, and I always think, oh, that's so good. Let them dress up. Let them dress up.
Yes.
That's really powerful.
You had asked me earlier, was there one, maybe one or two things that uh, I think, yes, I can answer that with more clarity now. With Acasma, it has taught me that I have to give it, whatever it is of the moment, whether it's patience, whether it's whatever, I have to give it a space to land.
Mm.
And that's where I circle back to trusting myself
Mm-hmm.
and like, being there, putting it out there. So I can't just spend my life wishing and hoping I embody certain things, excuse me, or I am certain things. I have to literally like give it a space to land so that it can come in. And when I do that, it's like the opening is huge. And that landing is 100% about self-trust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. The
Yeah.
landing, giving it the space to land, that's a huge part of the process. And for some people, most people, myself included, prior to landing, the space being available for it, meaning the energy exists that holds an alignment and resonance with whatever it is we're landing. So maybe a higher trust level, or more abundance, or more peace, or more balance, or whatever it is. They're all energetic signatures, like we talked about earlier. The field will read and register and provide accordingly. So for the new vibration to land, yes, it has to have a landing pad, which means a resonance connection it can make. And many times that landing pad can only be built by the disassembling of the old pad,
Yes.
meaning experiencing something in life, a relationship falling apart because it's resetting itself, a job changing because it's resetting itself, whatever societal structure that you see every day changing. That's a big one right now, right? Because it's resetting itself. And we talk about how when in the very beginning of the call, if we grip on something, meaning we get upset about it, we get anxious about it, we worry about it, we overthink about it, we're gripping it, then we're slowing down the landing pad of the new space of us that's trying to come in. We're slowing down that landing pad being built.
Yeah.
And it's the trust and the availability. We talked about it the other day in our mindset check-in class, to observe before we assign meaning. Yes. Beautiful way to get those new landing pads of that new space of us built. Observe the experience. The job's falling apart. Okay, hold on a sec. Before I deem that this sucks and what the if am I going to do, let me take one breath, observe it, and decide if that's the meaning I'd like to focus on. Because that meaning maybe is not going to help us with the landing of the new space that's trying to come in, but the only way it can come in is the old has to dissolve, it has to shift, it has to change, it has to move in some way.
Yes.
So that's huge, right? I think that's like, yes, the way in which mastery, self-mastery, mastery of the life truly begins to activate for us, as us, through us, when we can start being mindful of observation, discernment, and the placement of meaning. Yes. That placement of meaning is our directive. It's like us saying, here's my exact command, in a sense, to the energies that are forming the next space of my experiences. That assignment of meaning is the directive. So we all hold the power, and we're learning what that means. We're learning what that means, and what allowing, because I think that's why we have to, because in Acasma, there's all these different incremental spaces, right? But learning how to trust yourself, because that's one of our go-to things. Trust yourself. We say it all the time. It's an actual mantra or whatever in the community. Trust yourself. Allow, meaning when the situation looks something different than you thought it would, allow for a minute, because maybe it's taking you exactly where you need to go. And trusting yourself is how you can allow. And those are the components of, yes, means in which ascension, spiritual awakening, the shift of consciousness, yes, is most benefited. Those means, those connection points, they weave together masterfully to assist this space. That's why we say Acasma quantum energy is an energetic healing modality, absolutely, like Reiki, quantum touch, so forth, but it's also an ascension modality designed to assist because here's why it did that. And I know we're going to run over here, so we're going to try to tie it up a bit, but I love this conversation. Here's why Acasma did this. The consciousness, the teachings are this way, because we've had energy work for a long time in human history. And it's been incredibly beautiful and powerful. I'm a Reiki master. I did Reiki for, 13, 14 years, something like that. And Acasma came in. And Acasma had energy keys like Reiki. And Acasma had similar technique spaces as well. But it was a little different. And then it became a lot different. And then all of a sudden this expansiveness came in with the understanding of it being an ascension assistance modality as well. Because it was teaching, as much as it was providing physical and mental and emotional shifts and healings energetically, it was teaching and activating reconnective points in the student and in the client so that they could actually land, as we've spoken on, those healings. Healing is a healed state of you, yes, or a healed state of any life space, yes, like your finances or your relationships. Any healed state is a shift of vibration. It means you no longer are at the vibration you were prior to the movement, right? And in order to hold that, land that, you have to be able to uh, consistently maintain the vibrational alignment of the shift. And that's something that you receive with Acasma Quantum Energy. These understandings of the trusting of the self, the understanding of remembering who you are, which assists you in trusting yourself, incrementally implementing step by step, breath by breath, peace and balance begin to show up more and more. And one day you wake up, you look around, and an impatient person realizes they've become patient.
Yeah. I really think that you said something, the power of the observership is one of the gifts I continue to appreciate daily from the Acasma teachings, because that keeps me from a place of reactivity.
Yes.
Because I can blow up and I can react and I can assume and I can come to conclusions, which are one of the 1 million conclusions, of any given situation. But the observership gives me space, literal, metaphorical space, to choose differently and to be differently and to show up differently. So it's it's so powerful to be in a moment, whether it's a familiar space or a new space, and to go, welcome to this space, to myself. Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. I
Yes.
don't know if I had a dime for every time I've said that phrase.
Yes, right?
Oh my goodness, that was perfect. Yes,
Yes.
welcome to this space. You decide what this space gets deemed as for you. There can be other
Yes.
people in the space and they can have their own understanding of the space, and that happens a lot. But you get to choose your interpretation. And
Yes.
whatever you choose is your directive.
Yes.
So that's huge. I love that. Welcome to this space. Yes, yes, yes. All right. This has been amazing, Jamelyn. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being this space.
Thank you. And I receive that with such admiration and grace and appreciation. And thank you for trusting yourself. Really?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for seeing that. Thank you for seeing that. That was a big space, and I am grateful I engaged it. I am grateful beyond words. I love my life. I love my life. Yes. And it's incredible because whatever we lean into, um, will lean back into us. And if you lean into loving you, even if you're not sure how to do that, right? Or
Yes.
trust you, even if it's not something that comes second nature right now, it will begin to lean into you as you lean into it. And before you know it, you merge and you blink and you look around and you are the space, you are the alignment. Really beautiful, really beautiful. If any of this pings anyone, if you've sent yourself a notification today, um, we would love to have you join us in our community, Acasma Family of Light. And or you could also possibly consider the course. So the course I run once a year. And Jamelyn, you're coming back again this year.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Yes, this will just the layers will keep unraveling. Yes, I will experience this at a completely new level of me, because I'm different today
Yes,
than I was when I
yes,
first took the course. So
yeah,
I'm ready for that 2.0
yeah.
experience for me, right? So I'm saying, it just keeps opening and expanding and becoming available, and it's mind-boggling beautiful and
Mm,
just so, like, incomprehensible. So I'm not trying to understand it, I'm just trusting and I'm leaning in and I'm allowing.
I love
And
that. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That is true allowance. That is true trust. Yeah, and it's okay because I know everybody's minds work differently, and I do have some students or community members, and they'll message me questions, and they really want specifics. Usually in the beginning, that's more common. When you first start making contact with the space, the teachings, they really want, specifics on how to do all these things, very drawn out. And I say a lot of it is being available, just being available, just pondering it, imagining it, thinking about it, becoming more available to the concepts, to the teachings, to the space of it itself. And the energies, because we talked about it's an energy modality, it's an ascension modality, there's energy keys. And you said peace and balance is a new, best friend for you, right? It's available more now than ever, right? That's an actual key in Acasma quantum energy. So anyone new to the space, peace and balance, there's a key, an energetic symbol. And that's exactly what it does, is it kind of represents the vibration of peace and balance in a sense, and energetically assists that flow of that vibration reconnecting in with the person that is choosing to put their availability and their focus in that direction, to lean into that direction of peace and balance. The course starts January 31st, and it is recorded, so it accommodates all time zones and schedules because we have people coming in from all different spaces. Now, it also being recorded, if you're catching this video and it's been a month or two, you could still join us because it's all on video, and you can take the class by class space that way as well. But we have a weekly class in the course, and then we also do a weekly energy session that helps with all the teachings that are being given and attunements to those. I think that makes a tremendous difference whether people understand energy and it's a space that they're familiar with, or whether they've never even done energy work before. The general feedback is the energy sessions are very helpful. And for some, they come off as like a meditation. So they interpret them as like, oh, I felt like we did a meditation, because you're given a music link and you're asked to close your eyes and listen to it for like an hour or at least 30 minutes and just be with the space. So do you feel like the energy centers, our energy spaces, are they assisting the sessions?
Absolutely. That's where we let things land.
Mm.
That's where it integrates. That's where we fine tune the WWAQE radio stations. We can get the static off the, just like Gregory says, we can get there, right? That frequency, that,
I
yeah,
love that.
WAQE. So, yes,
Yeah.
that is where or sort of it comes together. That's where we can begin to anchor
Yeah.
and embody and integrate, get out of our head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Back into the heart.
Back
I
into the
love
heart.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, so the classes and the sessions weekly, 12 weeks. We're going to start January 31st and we're going to run till like April 18th, something like that. But there's a student portal for everything on my website. So when people sign up, they get an automatic email. Check your spam folders, please. But you get an automatic email that has a link to the portal, the student portal, and a password. And then you've 24/7 access to that portal, and you can go and do the videos, do the meditations. There's all kinds of resources in there to work with. You also have full access to the community chat, one of the spaces we spoke about here today, that's designed for the students in the course as well. And all the Zoom links. So everything's in one place, everything you need to partake of the course, connect with the course, PDFs that go with the course. You don't have to buy the book, although the book, there's a brand new one came out this month. Um, but the PDFs are available through that investment as well. So anybody has any questions on it, just please reach out via email or comment below the video. If you've been in the course and or are returning again this year and you're watching this video, could you please leave a comment below this video? Give a shout out to Jamelin for being bestie here. And then also share with us your feedback on being a part of AQE, the course space as well. We would love that. We would love that. That would be a fantastic way for people to get some insight of what this space is. Okay. All right, Miss Jamelin, thank you for being this space. This has been amazing. Will you come back and do this again?
Absolutely. Yes. I will come back.
And
Yes.
anybody who wants to meet Jamelin, she's going to be at Conscious Life Expo, LAX Hilton. She'll be at the Booth 86 International Ballroom, February 20th through 23rd, with our beautiful Acasma team of light. And they'll be offering complimentary Acasma quantum energy sessions at the booth. That's who we are, people. That's who we are. So check us out. We're grateful to be this space with you, and we love you. We love you. We love you.